What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday over here. Bitcoin currently at about 27.6K. Did get quite a bit of a pullback earlier today. Let's see what's going to be happening with Bitcoin right now because it is still stuck in that decision zone at about that 28K area. Let's see if it can get above this area because that could look a lot better for the altcoins, at least in the short term. If it gets a pullback here, that is not going to be looking good for the altcoins. So keep your eyes open for Bitcoin here at this zone, okay? We're going to be taking a look into what it could be happening because it is still the driver of this crypto market and can majorly affect the altcoins. The main topic of this video will be about Fantom token, FTM. See what's going on in this market. Going to be taking a look into some upside and downside price targets for FTM, as well as some key price levels that this coin needs to break in order to go either direction. I'm going to be giving you guys my personal sentiments and opinions on this market later in this video, so make sure to be staying around for that. Lastly, none of what I'm saying here is financial advice, of course. It's purely my personal opinions and speculations. I could completely be wrong. I am not a financial advisor, nor am I an elite trader of any sort, even though I am a profitable trader who's been able to keep most of my profits during the last bear markets, and I'm looking to crush it here for the next bull cycle. So if you guys feel the same way, if you guys are feeling pumped, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the Bitcoin chart for this post first because I need to talk about this, and we need to talk about this, okay? Because Bitcoin is at a critical zone right now. It's been trying to get above 28K for almost the entirety of last week. We did not really get a hard rejection throughout last week, though. So that is something that I could say it could be looking good, right? Because, remember the last time we actually went up to the daily 200, which was back in August 29th, that candle of, right, just got on top of it, a fake out, and then got a very hard rejection, right? This time, we're kind of just hanging around there, like it's trying to push through. Some things to be paying attention to, though, is that we are still in a rising channel pattern. It was a rising wedge, but now it actually broke down from that rising wedge. So now it is still a rising channel, which is still bearish. Measure target is still going to take you about to 26.1, okay, if it breaks down in the next couple of days, okay? Quite a bit of support for Bitcoin underneath this price action, right? Underneath this bottom trend line as well, including the daily 21, which would be about 27.7K-ish, right? Almost. Daily 50 SMA, 26.6K-ish. And then, of course, you're right beneath the daily 200 SMA, which is a very important moving average as both support and resistance, but it is your resistance right now where a lot of sellers are basically trying to push down the price. Okay, 28K area here. You also have your weekly 200 SMA basically right above, at about that 28.2K zone now, okay? So that's what we're looking at. That's basically what the bulls are up against. Let's take a look into the 4-hour time frame, see if we can get any kind of clue on what could be happening here. This could still look like a possible cup and handle, not completed. It does need to come back up here to retest this 28.6K. At least twice to form a cup and handle, right? Right now it still does look like it has a cup and handle. You have a possible cup and handle scenario, not completed, because you still have your bottoms rounding. But of course, if you break this rising channel here, that's gonna be totally invalidating this possible scenario, this bullish idea here, right? So very important to be paying attention to Bitcoin right now, because that's going to affect the altcoins. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Fantom. So Fantom here, this will be my first time talking about it. Let's go ahead and go to the weekly time frame here. See what we're looking at. So on this weekly time frame, we see a falling wedge. Very similar theme with quite a bit of these altcoins here. Falling wedges typically break to the upside, but you don't want to be in here if you're a bull, right? So if this actually does break to the upside here, you take the measurement of the opening of the pattern, and then you put that measurement on top of a future breakout date. Okay, right now it is in the middle of the pattern here, so it looks like it's trying to decide which direction it's trying to go, right? So I'm just gonna put it, let's see here, what's reasonable? November 20th, the weekly candle of November 20th, that will give you a measure target of about just right above 55 cents. So 55 cents area here, okay? Now, measure targets are estimates only, okay? It is not an automatic drive to that price. I've seen many measure targets, as discussed in this channel, that, gets very dragged out for months, and it's still nowhere near the measure targets. Do a Google search on these trading concepts that I'm going to be talking about or I've already talked about. I hope you guys are curious enough to actually learn about these patterns and technical analysis, right? Because that is the single most important thing you can do if you want to trade in this market and be around for the long run, okay? So right now, measure target 55 cents area. If it breaks out sooner, you get a higher measure target. You just move this measurement along this upward trend line. Of course, if you have an actual breakout, then you move it to that actual point. If it breaks out later, then you're going to get a lower measure target. Like I said, just an estimate. Now let's come over here to even the weekly time frame here. You can actually see a descending triangle pattern, okay? Within this falling wedge pattern, which is usually a bearish pattern, okay? Descending triangle patterns are basically an upside down version of an ascending triangle pattern, which is an ascending triangle pattern is bullish, but this is bearish, okay? Now, the measure move out of this descending triangle pattern, you take the measurement of the opening of the pattern, and then you put it anywhere beneath this bottom trend line because we have a flat bottom trend line. So that's going to give you a measure move to about 11 cents area. That's pretty damn steep, right? Will it actually get there? Well, I'm going to have to come back here and rechart this on a lower time frame and see, does it actually get to its measure move, or will it, come short of its measure move before reversing? So, those are some things to be taking into consideration. There's no absolute in this market. You can only say what is more likely based on what's happening, right? So that's basically what I'm looking at. Let's take a look into some key price levels to be paying attention to in order for this coin to go to break, in order to go to the upside, okay? Daily time frame. You have your daily 21 SMA at about 19 cent area. That's going to be your next resistance. Daily 50 SMA, the gray line here at about the 20 cent area. Daily 200 SMA, the orange line here is going to be about your 30 cent area, quite far up there. 3-day 21 SMA, the blue line here at about the 20 cent area. 3-day 50, your gray line here, 25 cent area. 3-day 200 SMA going to be about the 43 cent area. You guys can repeat the same exercise for the weekly, the monthly, or whatever time frames you guys are interested in. We're not going to do that here for time's sake. You guys can also look into past trading history as well for key resistances and supports based on whatever time frames you guys are looking at or interested in. We can do some key support here based on past trading history, since we don't have any major moving averages I consider that is beneath the price action. All right, so we're going to refer back to past trading history here on this monthly time frame, just to get a cleaner look. And if you're getting support or resistance on the monthly time frame, then it's pretty strong support or resistance. All right, so next level down, as you guys can see, it's going to be about that 17 cents area. That's going to be coming from this group of candles here, right? About that 17. I mean, it's going to be, not an exact value. It's going to be a range, right? About 17 to 20 cent area, basically the zone that you're in right now, coming from about June of last year to about December of last year, right? This group of candles that tells you it has bounced off these levels at about that 17 to 20 cent area here. The next level down would be, as far as I can read it back here, it's going to be about your 12 to 13 cents area, okay? Your 12 to 13 cent area, that's going to be your next level of key support. So that's still quite some way down, which is pretty in line with that measure move from that descending triangle pattern. Now, if it actually does break those levels, we're going to come back here and rechart this and see what else we're looking at instead. So if you guys do want to continue seeing more of Fantom, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. I will bring you guys an update if enough of you guys want to see it. My overall sentiment on this market is still long at this point. That is not to say I will not short any of these altcoins that have been pumping and have a pretty good setup, but I am still overall long on this market as a short-term trader. Because Bitcoin has been able to stay away from that possible breakdown on the weekly time frame, that double top neckline to be about 24.7K. But right now I am cautious right now because we are at a decision point, okay? So that's basically it for this post. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.